Know that every year 330,000 motor vehicle collisions are related to texting while driving. My purpose here today is to persuade you to support a nationwide no texting while driving ban. As someone who has been in a motor vehicle collision as a result from texting while driving, I have conducted extensive research on the arguments supporting a nationwide no texting while driving ban. I have a mother, a father, and 5 healthy siblings alive today, and I know that most of you in this room have a husband or wife, kids, parents, and siblings as well. I know that some of you don't support a nationwide ban on texting while driving, and I understand your position, as I myself also didn't support a ban before my collision. As someone who has lived through the tragic experience of a motor vehicle collision, I am convinced that a ban is necessary for the safety of ourselves and those we love dearly most. I believe that after today, you will also agree that something must be done about the situation. I will begin by discussing the problems, then examine some of the causes of the problems, and conclude by offering a solution and its benefits. With the roadmap in place, let's begin with the problems. The problem is that people don't support a nationwide ban on texting while driving. For example, anti-texting laws and legislations have been rejected by senators. In the 2018 article by Copeland and Kroll called "For a Fifth Time, Lawmakers to Decide Ban on Texting While Driving," published by the Texas Tribune, Nicole explains how in 2011 and 2015, the anti-texting legislation was passed by the House of Representatives, but as it moved to the Senate, senators didn't fully approve of the legislation, so in the end, the legislation was declined. Another example is when states failed to appease the demands towards state action to ban texting while driving. In the article by Ann Kitch called "State and Federal Efforts to Reduce Distracted Driving," published by the National Conference of State Legislators, Ann explains that a bill called the Fixing America's Surface Transportation Act called states to enact and enforce a texting ban to qualify for a $305 billion grant. In the end, only 4 of the 30 states that applied qualified. This means that only 4 states were able to accept a complete ban on texting while driving. Now that we know some of the problems, let's move on and examine some of the causes of the problem. There are 2 reasons why people don't support a nationwide ban on texting while driving. The first reason is that senators believe that anti-texting legislation doesn't benefit the people. For example, Nicole Kobler, the author that I mentioned earlier, explains how Senator Coney Burden provided opposition viewpoints towards the legislation. Coney's viewpoints explained that the legislation wouldn't benefit the people. As a result, Coney's viewpoints caused the Senate to not pass the legislation in 2011 and 2015. However, in the same article by Nicole Kobler, she also revealed another study conducted by AT&T in 2016 on texting while driving. This study revealed that states that didn't have a ban resulted in a 16% increase of texting while driving. This directly contributes to more dangerous roads, and for Senator Coney to continue to oppose a legislation to ban texting while driving would directly contribute to more people texting behind the wheel. And by not passing a ban, our roads are less safe. The second reason is the belief that a ban is unenforceable. In the 2018 article by Ann Kitch called "State and Federal Efforts to Reduce Distracted Driving," published by the National Conference of State Legislators, Ann explains how it is nearly impossible to enforce a anti-texting law without breaking privacy issues. This means that it is difficult for police officers to enforce an anti-texting law and legislation because police officers can't ask drivers to offer up their phones. However, in the 2017 article by Aaron Murphy called "Texting While Driving Law Needs to Be Stronger, Law Enforcement Says," by the Courier, Murphy interviewed police officers who agreed that it isn't difficult to enforce anti-texting laws. Police officers also said that although they hardly stop people for texting while driving, when they do, drivers will usually admit to their illegal act, and in the end, police officers don't have to ask drivers to offer up their phones. Police officers also believe that this is a no texting while driving ban is an important step into creating an hands-free device ban in the future so that it makes it easier to enforce. Now that we've examined some of the causes to the problem, let's move on to the solution and its benefits. The solution, which is to adapt a nationwide no texting while driving ban, offers two important benefits. The first benefit is that it will reduce motor vehicular collisions associated with texting while driving. According to the 2013 study by Adam and Aboud titled Texting Bans and Fatal and Accidents on Roadways, published by the Journal of Applied Economics, harsher texting bans resulted in a decrease in motor vehicle collisions of those being driven by one person. This means that people who drive by themselves were involved in less motor vehicle collisions since the ban was implemented. This benefits the people because people who drive by themselves tend to glance at their phones more times than those who drive with passengers. So the decrease of people who drive by themselves being involved in motor vehicle collisions shows that a ban is a step in the right direction. The second benefit is that less people will die in motor vehicle collisions to texting while driving. In the article of texting laws and motor vehicular fatalities in the United States, the author found that harsher texting laws that ban texting while driving resulted in a 3% decrease in motor vehicular fatalities. This ban impacted teen drivers the most. This means that roads are safer because less people die in motor vehicular collisions associated with texting while driving. Now this is a visual presentation, visual aid that will help you understand and see how the number of people who have died in collisions, and you can see that number decreasing over the years since the ban was implemented. In conclusion, to not have a nationwide ban on texting while driving is deliberately contributing to more dangerous roads and collisions, resulting in injuries and deaths. Now, let's review what we've learned today. First, we learned the problem is that people don't support a nationwide ban on texting while driving. As evidence, as senators reject anti-texting laws and legislations in 2011 and 2015. Also, when only 4 states out of 30 that applied qualified for the $305 billion grant. Next, we learned 2 reasons why people refuse to ban texting while driving. The first reason is that senators believe that a ban wouldn't benefit the people. The second reason is that senators believe that it's difficult for law enforcement to enforce an anti-texting law without breaking privacy issues. Finally, we learned the solution, which is to embed a nationwide no texting while driving ban. Offers two important benefits. The first benefit is that people who drive by themselves are involved in less motor vehicular collisions since the ban was implemented. The second benefit is that less people die in motor vehicle collisions associated with texting while driving. People who fulfill the roles of senators and governors continue to deny imposing a anti-texting legislation, and the causes to the problems haven't convinced the people that a ban isn't necessary. As people continue to assimilate the dangers of texting while driving from those who have shared their experiences in the past, as I did myself, we push forward and strive that we were able to achieve a ban on texting while driving and embrace the benefits that come with it. The evidence from those states that already banned texting while driving has convinced people from other states that a ban is necessary for ourselves. With the evidence I provided with you today, I strive that for you to change your outlook and support a nationwide ban on texting while driving. So in the future, when we analyze data, the number of 330,000 collisions has plummeted, and we can proudly say that our roads are safer today.